start again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about Ayo Dosunmu as he recently approached ESPN 1000 and he ended up talking a lot about his off-season as well as a little bit on Lonzo Ball and a little bit on DeMar DeRozan as well. We also had recent footage released about Zach LaVine's training in terms of the off-season as well. We'll take a deeper dive into what we saw from that training video. I don't necessarily think I could show the training video, but it is very important towards what we've kind of seen from a lot of our Bulls players over the course of this off-season. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about all of these situations. Ayo Dosunmu, the amount and how hard he's been working in the off-season, about Lonzo Ball, what he mentioned as well, and also about DeMar DeRozan. So there's a few things to get into here now, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, we saw Ayo Dosunmu say that he gained 5 to 6 pounds of muscle during the off season. That is very, very good to hear. Obviously, as a rookie coming into his second year now in the NBA, you expect things like this to really play a factor. And obviously, very, very important to see that he is gaining a lot of muscle. He is getting physically stronger. He already looked fairly strong last season as well, but we saw some of the photos earlier on in the off season. We know that he's going to look ripped, and it also is going to really impact how dominant he could potentially be and how he could bully other guards next season. Very, very important for Ayo Dosunmu. I'm really looking forward to his second year in the NBA, and I'm hoping it's going to be every bit as good, if not better, than his first season. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm really excited about Ayo Dosunmu. He also mentioned that he was going to get a tattoo of the number 38. If you don't know what the number 38 implies, basically it's his draft number, and also I guess the meaning behind it is the amount of people that got selected before him. So he's kind of taken the approach of a lot of other guys when they got picked so late, and kind of remembered everybody that got drafted before him and made that a really big part of why he's going to have successful seasons in the NBA. I guess that's a motivating factor for Ayo Dosunmu. So that's clear to see his motives there. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one to tell him he should or shouldn't get a tattoo. That's not my place to say, or anybody's place to say, really. So if he does get the number tattooed, all I can say is at least he knows the meaning behind it. We know the meaning behind it, and it's a good motivator for him. So let's just hope that it continues to be a good motivator for him as well. He mentioned a little bit about Lonzo Ball. Nothing too in detail about this one, ladies and gentlemen. Basically saying that Lonzo Ball is working very hard to make sure he's back on the court. I think we can all predict that everybody on the Bulls would be saying something like this, and obviously it does mean that Lonzo Ball is working hard to get back on the court. Nothing really to go off of there. I'm excited to see if Lonzo Ball will return by the start of the season. I have a lot of people in my comments saying he shouldn't return at the start of the season because it is a very, very busy time for the Chicago Bulls. The very beginning is probably our hardest part of our schedule, in all honesty. So a lot of people are saying maybe Lonzo shouldn't return, get a little bit more healthier and come back when it's not such a hectic schedule. But also you'll have other people saying that if Lonzo Ball is healthy, we need every bit of the plays we can get. We should get him on the court. Maybe load manage him a little bit, maybe give him a little bit of a minutes restriction, but he should be playing for the Chicago Bulls. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. I know which side of the coin I'm on. I would always love to see players that are available to play. I don't want to see situations where we're dealing with injuries from the very beginning of the season. If Lonzo Ball is healthy, I personally think he should play. Yes, load manage him. Don't play him in back-to-backs, things like that. That makes sense in my opinion. But if he is ready to go by the start, I hope the Bulls play him at the start, and I think the Bulls will play him at the start of the season. He mentioned a little bit about DeMar DeRozan as well. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I recently made a video about whether or not the Chicago Bulls have a leadership problem. And I discussed that the players might not necessarily have leadership problems, but maybe some of the coaching staff does. But I did get a lot of comments in that video. Not a lot of comments, but there were a few comments saying that maybe we do have a leadership issue in terms of our players. And one comment even said that DeMar DeRozan just isn't a leader. And this is Ayo Dosunmu basically coming out himself saying that DeMar DeRozan leads by example and is a genuine guy. So Ayo Dosunmu is basically calling DeMar DeRozan a leader. I think this is coming off of the fact that he bought everybody on the team iPads. That's an incredible gesture from DeMar DeRozan. It's one that he's done before, and usually it's the leaders of teams that do things like this. It's an incredible gesture first and foremost, and you've got to give a lot of respect for DeMar DeRozan for doing something like that. It's a lot of money, maybe not for him, but it's a lot of money for most people, and he did a very nice thing for pretty much every single player on our team. But it's not just that. How many times have you seen stories like this come out about any guy? It's very rare that you see things like this happen, or at least things like this get reported. But when it usually does happen, it's the leaders, it's the best players on the team doing things like this for the rest of us, or for the rest of the players, I should say, not for us. But that just shows his leadership in a nutshell as well. It doesn't mean much in the whole grand scheme of things on the court. Obviously, I think an iPad personally is a very good choice of a present, because that could probably help your game in some ways. I'm sure there's some apps watching the NBA as well. It's on the go, so it's a very, very good gift to give someone. But all in all, yeah, it is a very good gesture, and it is a very good thing for a leader to do. So I personally think DeMar DeRozan is a leader. I usually say that more on the floor than off the floor. Of course, things like this does prove he's a good off the floor leader as well, but he's a very good on the floor leader. So I'm very, very happy that Ayo's basically come out and praising DeMar DeRozan for being a leader. And last but not least, we'll talk about Zach LaVine's training video, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm sorry, I don't think I can show this this footage. Maybe I can, but I don't necessarily know the rules behind what YouTube sees as good and not good in terms of video. So I'll just basically say he's working on his mid-range game, ladies and gentlemen. He's working on his face-up game. There was a little bit on in the post. I think he was working on his bank shots as well. All these things, but mainly from the mid-range. And this has been a common thing for the Chicago Bulls over recent times, especially with training videos. You've seen things like this happen with obviously Patrick Williams, I think DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White, Zach LaVine as well. Even Lonzo. I've seen a video of Lonzo doing things like this as well. They're all working from the mid-range. Is that on purpose? Are we going to use the mid-range a little bit more effectively as a team next season? Is that going to be one of our game plans heading into next year, where we kind of use the mid-range as a team? DeMar DeRozan does it very, very well, and you've got guys following his lead. You've got guys following, I guess, the way that he likes to play. Ayo Dosunmu is someone that used the mid-range very well. We could potentially see that. That's an improvement in Lonzo's game that I think we can all agree should very much be improved upon. The mid-range game, finding his shots and taking his shots, but it seems like everybody's really working on their mid-range game. And I'm one of those guys that truly believes that this will help Zach LaVine more than hurt Zach LaVine, because I think if there was any weakness in Zach LaVine's ability on the offensive end, it's poor shot selection from the three-point line, mainly those moving threes, but it's also, he does have, I guess, times where he does miss a lot of mid-range shots. So this will definitely help Zach LaVine in my opinion. I'm glad that this is part of the game he's working on. Obviously, there's more room of improvement for all of our guys, but that's just basically the video that we saw. So let me know in the comments below if you like what you saw. I will recommend, if you want to see the video yourself, if you haven't seen it already, I saw this video personally from Daniel Greenberg on Twitter, so be sure to check him out, follow him if you like, and you could get a little bit more updates on the Chicago Bulls also. But I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care. And